Hi, my name is Schorsch. Today it's all about the right technique, skinning up. So climbing with skins doesn't require much. You just have to remember two things. First, we drag our skis and do not lift it. And second, we push the stride forward. So dragging and pushing forward. Drag, push, drag, push. Drag and push, drag and push. Make sure that the push is like a natural stride. Too short means you walk like on duck feet, so not too further forward and not too small. So second thing to remember, do not lean too much forward and always feel the center of gravity around the forefoot. So too much forward means the center is too much up front and your foot slides back. So we keep a neutral position and feel a little pressure on the heel. Drag, push, pressure on the heel. Drag, push, pressure on the heel. One of the most common mistakes, and I believe the main reason why people do not reach the top, is they fail to find a steady pace. Especially at the very beginning, people tend to run. And then after 10-15 minutes, it's really getting hard. They stop. They start again and again too fast. After another 20 minutes, they gotta stop. So this stop and go is far more tough than finding a steady pace. At the very beginning, it should be rather slow. And if you feel like, hey, this is a little too slow for me, or even I'm able to walk and talk, that's the perfect pace. So another important basic technique is to change direction. Two ways. First, we change direction with 4 strides. It's called Bogentreten. I don't think there is proper term in English. And the second is the very famous kick turn. So changing direction with 4 strides means 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, this is for the flat sections. Changing direction in steep terrain requires a kick turn. A kick turn is split in 3 different steps. Step 1. We change direction in a 90-degree angle to our left foot in that sense. Then, very important, we need to transfer the entire body weight on that leg. And third step, we turn as close as possible to the other leg. What I see quite often watching people doing the famous kick turn is they manage to change direction, but then they remain on the former leg with the entire body weight. So another very common mistake is that people manage to do step 1, 90-degree change of direction. They even manage step 2 and transfer the entire weight on that leg. But then, instead of turning as close as possible to this leg, they kind of stretch and try to do it that way. So for the kick turns, important to remember 3 steps. Step 1. Turn direction in a 90-degree angle. Step 2. Transfer the entire body weight to that leg. Step 3. Turn as close as possible to this leg. And continue. So one of the challenges on the climb is traversing steep and icy terrain. Naturally, since we, or most of us, grew up alpine skiing, we connect steep and icy slopes with our edges, or at least with the use of our edges. So traversing makes us use the edges instantly, like rolling on the edges, but it's exactly the effect we do not need, because you lift the skins away from the surface. So there is no connection, and the effect is you slide back. So if I try to traverse on the edges, this doesn't work. You have to do exactly the opposite. You roll on the entire surface, and it needs a little flexibility apparently in your ankle, knee and hip, but try to leave the skins on the surface. So that's pretty much it as far as ski touring techniques uphill are concerned. Hope I won't see you anymore stop and go. I won't see you anymore struggling with the kick turns or changing direction with a step of 4. Hope you remember at the end to keep a steady pace. However, speed up.